What it all comes down to is effective communication. On page 4 in your workbook, it goes over the 5 keys that you need for communication with any customer. It's desire, understanding the process, mastering the basic skills, practice, patience. Now, desire, number 1. It comes down to commitment. I like how Art Turek puts it. He says, there is a difference between interest and commitment. When you're interested in doing something, you do it only when circumstances permit. When you're committed to something, you accept no excuses, only results. You have to be committed to providing outstanding customer service. Write down one thing you are committed to relating to outstanding customer service. Now that you've listed at least one commitment, let's move to key number 2. Number 2 is understanding the process. The process is meaning plus understanding equals communication. Meaning plus understanding equals communication. 55% of all communication comes from your body language. For instance, the slouching posture says to the customer, you are an interruption to my day. 38% comes from your tonality, and only 7% come from your words, so you better use the right words to begin with. Part of understanding is listening. We'll practice this momentarily. But do remember, all communication is personal. Key number 3, mastering the basic skills. 55, 38, 7. As we said before, 55% comes from your body language, 38 from your tonality, and only 7 from your words. See, I can say the exact same thing 2 different ways and get 2 completely different meanings. Example, I could look at Jeff and say, how you doing? The connotation is, how is your day? Are things running smoothly? And so forth. Or as Joey Tribbiani from the sitcom Friends says, how you doing? Now that has a completely different meaning. Sometimes without realizing it, we allow a previous difficult customer to affect our tone of voice. People will read the meaning into our words according to the tone they hear. I often tell my employees, if you have 1 bad customer, you have a bad customer. If you have 2 bad customers, you have 2 bad customers. If you've had 3 bad customers, it's time to stop and check your body language and your tone of voice. Let's go over tone of voice. There are vocal qualities. The inflection. Inflection is the wave-like movement of highs and lows in your pitch. It's the peaks and valleys in your voice that lets the customer know how interested or uninterested you are in what they are saying. There's volume, pacing, which is approximately matching your customer's rate of speech and intensity of feeling. Pacing is the best single tool you have for creating rapport with your customer. Intensity. This is the strength of emotion that is projected along with the words you are saying. Now, reflecting intensity. While remaining calm, reflect back the customer's intensity to show you understand what is being said. You want to remain calm, but also need to let the customer know that you care. For instance, if someone has left a purse or a wallet, you want to say, oh my goodness, I'll look right away, not, oh, okay, I'll look for you. Rate of speech. In the previous scenario, even the rate of speech changed. You don't want to talk too fast, but you do want to somewhat match the person with whom you are speaking. In some regions, if you speak too quickly, you are considered rude and abrasive. In others, if you speak too slowly, you are often considered to be less than intelligent. The average American speaks at a rate of 120 to 180 words per minute. The average listener is capable of listening up to a rate of 600 to 650 words per minute. By pacing a customer's rate of speech, you can close the gap and have more hits than misses in your communication. Now, next there was the listening. With the listening, you have to have the desire. From desire to listen comes commitment. Interest. Develop an interest in either the person or the issue. Concentrate. Focus mental energy during the entire listening period and eliminate distractions. Concentrate on the content of the communication. Move to a better location. Maintain eye contact. Don't interrupt and don't start thinking of a response. Check your perceptions. Paraphrase and ask for feedback. Now let's take a listening test. I'm going to give you some information. Listen carefully, and then you'll answer the questions on the bottom of page 6. Sheila Bradshaw is a sophomore at the same university you went to. Her major is communication. She got up this morning at 5:45 a.m., then picked out her favorite dress, a blue one with silver buttons. For breakfast, she had a bagel with cream cheese and raspberry jam. Her first class was at 8 a.m. It was English Lit with Professor Bandish, a noted author who has published over 170 literary articles. Her next class was at 10 a.m. with Professor Sneed. Next, she turned in her term project to Professor Johansson and then met up with some friends for lunch. She ate a bowl of tomato soup and had a Diet Coke. After lunch, she went to the bookstore where she purchased the book Anthem by Ayn Rand, picked up a manual for her English Lit class, which was written by her professor, and purchased a pair of gloves, brown eyeliner, and some peanut M&Ms. Okay, now, let's answer the 10 questions. Question number 1, what is Sheila's last name? 2, 3, and 4, list 3 of the 5 things Sheila got from the bookstore. 5, what color was Sheila's dress? 6, name the author of the English Lit manual. 7, what does Sheila have for breakfast? 8, what is the name of the professor Sheila has for her 10 a.m. class? 9, what does Sheila have for lunch? And 10, who is Professor Johansson? Okay, let's see how you did. Question number 1, what is Sheila's last name? It's Bradshaw. The 5 items, you could pick 3 of that she got from the bookstore, was Anthem by Ayn Rand, Manual for English Lit, a pair of gloves, brown eyeliner, and peanut M&Ms. What color was Sheila's dress? It was blue with silver buttons. Now, I'll give it to you if you just wrote blue. Give the name of the author of the English Lit manual. Professor Bandish. What does Sheila have for breakfast? A bagel with cream cheese and raspberry jam. What is the name of the professor for Sheila's 10 a.m. class? That's right, Professor Sneed. And what does Sheila have for lunch? Tomato soup and a Diet Coke. And who is Professor Johansson? The professor Sheila gave her term project to. So how did you do? I'd be willing to guess those of you who took notes did much better than those who just tried to listen audibly. So how do you take notes when speaking with a customer? You repeat, you paraphrase what they are saying. You ask for clarification. You focus only on them and what they are saying. So let's review. The listening skills needed: have a desire to understand, be interested in the person or what they are saying, concentrate, use mental imagery, eliminate outside distractions, and check perception. Key 4 of our 5 keys is practice. I've given you the opportunity to practice by writing down possible answers already. As we continue, participate. When this conference is over, look for all your possible solutions and practice what you might say and how they might respond over and over until you can say it with the right inflection to show you care, but that you are still calm. And key number 5, patience. Browning states, patience is the courage to change the things you can, the willingness to accept the things you cannot, and the wisdom to know the difference. Have you ever had the fortune of knowing someone who made you feel like the center of their universe? I have. One of the best supervisors I ever worked with was named Robert Fillmore. Robert had a way of making everyone feel like they were the most important person in his life. Of course, logically, we couldn't all be, but, I knew it was really me. Everyone else just thought it. Anyway, I started to sit back and watch what it was about him that made us all feel so important. That's when I saw all of the communication steps in place. See, Robert had a sincere desire, a commitment to understand what the other person was saying or needed. He understood the process. He knew that there had to be both meaning conveyed and understanding happening to reach true communication. He did this by mastering the basics, from his body language to reading yours, to his tone of voice, to the words he used. He practiced his skills every single day. He was patient with himself and with others, remaining calm in the midst of any storm, active but calm. In watching as he communicated, I also noticed a common theme. He showed empathy and sympathy when it was needed, and he showed it to the right degree.